Hey all you Kendalls and Shivs, I'm Dale Rodman Jr. III, and this is Slow to Pro, a YouTube series where I go from slow to the bottom split battles. This week on Low Fuel Motorsport, which is essentially, iRacing for Assetto Corsa Competizione, but free. Low Fuel is at Silverstone. First race I recorded was boring. Started in second, did a few laps. Ended up dropping Spot down to third place right here. He just gave him the inside, let him have it. Went around a few more times till the leader spun out here on the right. A few more times around, we finished in P2. Not very much action, but not to worry. On Low Fuel Motorsport, there's races every hour, and depending on the hour and population, there could even be multiple splits all the way up to 7. Or more. So the fast guys being split 1, slow guys like me down in split 7. So here we are in split 4, which was the bottom for this hour, and we're starting in the back at P27. So because we have a decently sized field and we are starting at the back, we're going to be treating the first lap kind of like foreplay, just letting everything warm up and get properly lubricated before we go sticking this Audi into tight spaces. Turn 1 was uneventful. We're out of rookies now, so that's going to happen. There are big penalties in LFM for causing a wreck, and the penalties are even steeper on lap 1. So most people are careful because they don't want to ding up their safety ratings too bad. It's better to save your aggressive moves until after lap 1. So this is my first week with the Audi R8 Evo 2, and we're definitely in the puppy love stage. If you ask me right now, Gertrude is the 4-tired goddess of speed, and I love her with all of my heart. All of my friends are wrong about her, and when they say she treats all her drivers this nicely, I don't believe them. To be fair, I do remember feeling like I was enjoying the Ferrari after a few races too, but it didn't take long for me to start to miss the Porsche. I don't know, something about the Porsche just spoke to me. I still miss Sabina. So we're starting to close the gap a little bit to the traffic in front. Still trying to look multiple cars ahead, because if they end up side by side through this turn, it's going to slow down the guy in front of me too. And if I'm not paying attention to stuff like that, I hit people. I feel like a lone wolf out here stalking a herd of buffalo. I'm lying low in the tall grass, inching my way closer and closer. But I'm also aware that being a wolf, I am much smaller than these buffalo. So I need to wait until I spot a baby and it does something stupid. So while we fast forward to my first lunge at the baby buffalo, we've just hit 94 subscribers, real close to 1 million. So thanks to all of you that chose to stick around, and thanks to those of you considering clicking subscribe. It means the world to me. But back to the action. We got a Ferrari rejoining the track from the right hand side, and we're going to try to spook these babies into making a mistake. In addition to having more exit speed, we're in the draft to the McLaren, so we've got the run to get alongside, but we got to work around this Ferrari now as well. So try to make it look like we're going to go 3 wide, but I backed out early and decided to follow the Ferrari on the inside line. McLaren does a decent job holding it together, and he's able to stay side by side with me heading into turns 8 and 9. And he's got the inside line for 8. It's really 9 that you want the inside line on, so we're exactly where we want to be. We're able to close the door and make the pass stick. So that pass puts us up into P21 after starting P27. Over the next 2 laps, we followed this Ferrari around, keeping the gap under about a second. And we'll go ahead and skip ahead now to the moment things went wrong for him, and we slid right by for another freebie. And now it's time to basically put our head down, try to find our pace and close this gap to the battle happening about a second in front of us right now. Try to see if we can't gobble up a couple more baby buffalo. So we're gonna go ahead and skip ahead about a lap. During that lap, one person ahead spun out in the same location as the leader from the race at the start of the video, and we found ourselves at the back of a short train. The Porsche in front of this McLaren has a moment of oversteer coming up, which not only compromises his speed in line, but also the McLaren's speed in line. So we end up having a really fast run compared to these guys, and we're able to get up the inside and make about as textbook and gentlemanly a pass as you can get. So that's going to put us up 9 places into P18 at the moment, and we're going to go ahead and skip ahead 2 more laps to about 10 minutes left in the race, where we've got a 4-car train all within 1 second of each other, and the Porsche starts to apply some pressure to the BMW in front of them. and that pressure causes the BMW to give it a little too much go juice and take themselves out of contention. Another free pass. So we can go ahead and fast forward just a tiny bit more, maybe like half a lap, down to a double yellow that nobody is actually about to slow down for, and we're going to go ahead and gain 2 more positions. Voila, that puts us up into P15. And we're going to go ahead and skip to the middle of the next lap when the Porsche makes a, quite honestly, a beautiful move on the Audi. The Porsche takes the inside line, and then he runs it long to close the door to the Audi. That's classy. Now from here on, we're going to be in a fight with this Audi. I thought I had the pace because, well, I caught up to them, but there was still the question of where on the circuit was I faster. If we were gaining time down the straights, that would be great, make for an easy pass. If we're gaining time through one of the tighter sections, that'll make passing a little more difficult. Like right here was a spot I thought I might be gaining time, so I tried to take a shot at the outside to line myself up for the inside of the next turn. But my brains didn't match my brawn, and I couldn't get the Audi slowed down in time. So we're going to go ahead and fast forward now while we tuck in behind and wait for our next chance to take a bite out of this little baby Buffalo Wild thing. Coming up right here, I saw that the Audi was taking a peek up the inside of the Porsche, so I knew that he'd be running a slower line through turn 1, and I thought I'd be able to fly right by. But my exit gets compromised, and we end up side by side, and then I turn into Chicken Little. So from here on out, it's a really tight race with the car in front and the cars behind applying tons of pressure. I'm not going to spoil the end of this one. You're just going to have to either watch it or skip to the end to find out what happens. Next week, Low Fuel Motorsport goes to Misano for the 25-minute sprint series and Barcelona for the 45-minute races. Zealous Racing League is off. So we might do something a little different next week. I'll definitely have a race from Low Fuel Motorsport at Misano, but I'm also toying with the idea of streaming. But not really sure. We'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, thanks for watching Slow to Pro. I'm Dale Rodman Jr., the third, and you guys have the kind of day you want to have.
Yellow flag in sector 1. Losing to the car ahead in sector 1. Checkered flag, good job, you did the best you could. Now bring the car back.